not bold. From day one she had plenty to say. As a baby, Ruth was very pretty, like most girls who are from Limerick City. She lived first in Newport, but it wasn't much sport, because Ruth thinks most of Tipperary is shitty. And she does. She was born in dinner dance season. The weather was poor, it was freezing. Eileen used to throw shapes with the limes, lemons and the grapes. She found that stuff to be very pleasing. From Newport they went to Monaleen. The Jacks in the Ga club was quite clean, till one day, as a joke, it all went up in smoke and the coppers arrived on the scene. The burning of the Jacks was a shame, but for this crime Ruth was not to blame. What caused all the sparks were fireworks which were marks. It propelled them into instant fame. One day Ruth said she had enough of home life, so she packed up her stuff. Apple tart and some crackers. She walked up to the knackers, Campaign Cottesloe, they were tough. She said, "Can I come to live with you? I'll do anything you ask me to." The squaddies were called. Eileen was not enthralled. Ruth's bottom was soon black and blue. Monaleen was her first primary school, where she was well behaved as a rule. At Crescentcombe College she learned most of her knowledge, although sometimes she did act the fool. To Cottesloe to Ida in Dingle, Ruth went for a while. There were lots of comments on her file. An uncalled, unture bashta said, "Well, you're a great gashka, I'm expelling you now, please don't smile." She then worked for Dennis O'Brien. On the radio, she had a great time. But she didn't do well when she went to UL. She was on the piss most of the time. Ruth's mum was called Brof on the beat. She's not tall and she has dainty feet.
Oh, it's true.
Eileen works in the dial. She adores Fianna Fáil, and someday she may just learn to tweet. Although Ruth loves Eileen to bits, she does spill gravy down her tits. That's Eileen, not Ruth. Her reaction is shit. "I just can't believe it. My new blouse is destroyed." That's the pits. I call Eileen my in-law from hell. Some embarrassing tales I could tell about her duck arse face, but that would be a disgraceful thing for her son-in-law to tell. One time with the sherries, it was class. Michael said, "I love cutting the grass." Turning to Ruth, I said, "Is he fucked in the head? I prefer to see pins up my ass." And that's true. That brought on Eileen's duck arse face. She said, "You're a bloody disgrace. You've insulted my friends. You better make amends or we won't be asked back to this place." Ruth calls her father DBS. They have had the odd spat, I confess. He wouldn't know how to back down in a row. Not at all like my Ruthie, I guess. One night with Looney on the piss, in the kitchen he bellowed, "What's this?" "The statue of Holy Mary. It looks far too scary. Let's fry it and see if 'twill hiss." This is true. So he put it into the frying pan. This was not a sensible plan. DBS said, "You bum." He went and got his gun. Looney thought that it was time to scram. Ruth's dog Tulsi was her favourite pet, until I came along. One Christmas day he said, "I bet they won't notice me if I rob the turkey. It will be well worth getting bet." He took it to a nice quiet place in the garden and he stuffed his face. When my in-law found out, you should have heard her shout, "Telling you were a bloody disgrace!" At nights, Ruth worked intense in the bar. I was fond of going there for a jar. She got into my heart. I could not be apart from her. She looked like a film star. Ruth was fond of wearing a black jacket. I said one night amidst all the racket, "Before I go to slumber, can I have your phone number?" She wrote it on top of a fag packet. At first we went out on the sly, but it wasn't because Ruth was shy. You see, she had a bloke, he was a bit of a yoke. She soon told him it was time to say bye. Ruth then moved her stuff into my pad. I thought to myself, This ain't bad. Eileen said, "You are bold, that man's much too old. I really think that is quite sad." Her dad got a snoop on the job that must have cost him a few bob. I tackled him in the lock. I said, "You were some cock, like your mate Peter Shee, you're a knob." Ruth's career took her down to the Lee, the river that flows through Cork City. She worked for 96, FM learned some new tricks, but the wages were still fairly shit. In Cork, she did not stay around. Ruth went to Mallow to work for County Sound. Scott said to Ruthie, "Produce my show for me and I'll pay you a good few more pounds." Ruth said yes and moved to Shannon's side. Soon after we had our first ride. In Derrynane by the sea, I got down on one knee and asked her to please be my bride. Cara Daniel was where we were wed, in a pub that was once owned by Ted. We danced to the twist, my poor mother was pissed. It was 4:30 when we got to bed. Red Dog was the dowry I got. I wasn't well pleased with my lot. 21 when he died, he loved the odd ride. If I'd my way, he would have been shot. Red Dog was always on the make. In the lock bar, he once robbed a steak, which he promptly wolfed down. Eileen would call him Brown Dog. He was red, that was a mistake. Who then moved to Cara Daniel full time. Down there, she had a hell of a time. The lock-ins were great, but she never was late for the stables to work with Caroline. Ruth rode her horse out on the hunt. It's the hunt. It was hard on her arse and her front. One day she came a cropper, the ditch was a hopper. Surviving that fall was some stunt. On the phone one day Ruth rang me up. She said, "I can't stop throwing up." I said, "Go see the doc. The cause was my cock." He told her that she was knocked up. Our son Oscar came onto the scene on Friday morning at 9:13. Settle down. As our first little boy, he gives us much joy. I can't believe he's nearly a teen. Oscar turned out to be quite a foodie. Like his mum, he can sometimes be moody.
Not happy.
Ruth then said, Ruth then said, "I am ready for a boy we'll call Teddy, because it had become quite broody. They're as different as chalk is from cheese. They've avoided my fusspot disease. I he'd forget his head, nothing is missed by Ted, a boy is as cool as a breeze." Eileen loves to buy the boys pops on her frequent visits to the shops. If she don't get her way to see 10 shops per day, she might throw up one of her famous straps. Sad verse. Now Ruth is getting a bit older. In her youth, she was definitely bolder. It was just poor folly to get into that shopping trolley. When she fell out, she did hurt her shoulder. I came home from the rugby one night. In truth, I was probably half tight. I said, "I've been asked to go to Australia, you know." I said, "Let's go, it seems to be right." So we hopped on a plane and came here, but not before we shed the odd tear. Perth is a nice spot. When the weather is too hot, we cool down by sculling a beer. WA has lots of open spaces, and also lots of slitty-eyed faces. We've racked up some air miles, and our faces are smiles, and we've been to some pretty cool places. Now I'll deal with the wobbly bits. Ruth is brilliant at measuring tits. Intermo is the gear that she sells every year. For each boob she has something that fits. For selling bras and the odd slip, Ruth has been on every reward trip. To Vietnam and Thailand, or from Fiji she's banned for asking the barman to strip. Ruth sells Intermo gear to the grannies and occasional bras to the trannies. She had her own show on the radio, you know, and she has also waxed women's fannies. Ruth then met the she-gulls in Cott. I'll read that again. Ruth then met the she-gulls in Cott. She said to me, I like them a lot. They have asked me to train with them 'twill be a pain, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Ruth soon found her place in the scrum. At loose head, she thought it was fun. Her teammates showed her how to behave in a row, though she often landed on her bum. Last page. This year, Ruth and the rest of the crew were determined to beat. I'll say that again. This year, Ruth and the rest of the crew were determined to beat Wanneroo. In the final, they won. Afterwards, they had fun singing. Ruth Brophy is now a triathlete. Though she's not the quickest on her feet. Running is a test, it's the bike she likes best. Look out, Anto, she'll be hard to beat. Ruth's teammates and friends have helped out. It is time to give them a shout out. Orla, Anto and Mav gave everything they have. Alice and Whitey were also about. Sherry Holdem came here from Melbourne. She has often done Ruth a good turn. They were one lovely girlie, whom we often call Shirley. About Brad, she has no more to learn. Always truly makes lovely cakes. She definitely has what it takes. Ruth was thrilled to bits to see her cake has tits. Because with boobies she don't make mistakes. Now folks, I have no more to say. Ruth came here in a limo today. Irish Brad Lady Ruth. Irish Brad Lady Ruth. I love you, that's the truth. We wish you a happy 40th birthday.